Everybody will be shocked to listen to this is that I do not recommend. Just don't count grams of proteins and dump it in your body. There are lots of triggers that will start with a very unhealthy gut. So there are 4 major triggers. They say pregnancy cravings. There's nothing like that. Not really. I recommend and I eat myself. It's the only thing that it is a little acidic in nature. We don't see food as calories, but we see food as if you want to be healthy, if you want to lead a great life where you feel good about yourself, you got to do it. There is no shortcut.
Hello and welcome back to All That Matters. Today we have a renowned clinical nutritionist Prachi Shah who has worked with several CEOs, celebrities and athletes.
In today's episode, we dive into how you can use nutrition to make your overall lifestyle better. We have also covered common health concerns like diabetes, PCOS, anxiety and even infertility and how that can be managed using nutrition.
Before we dive in, a quick reminder to please subscribe to our channel so you do not miss out on any future episodes so we can add as much value to improving your day-to-day life.
Thank you and let's dive in. Hello ma'am, and thank you so much for coming to our podcast. So to dive straight into the conversation, we wanted to ask you, what is one myth that you wanted the people to know was false when it comes to nutrition and health?
When it is about myth, I want to talk about health as a holistic well-being, as a concept where you don't see health as a physical thing where you look lean or you lose weight or you have good skin and hair, but it is more about mental health, where when we talk about health, it's more about dedication, consistency, how you talk about being more mindful, how consciously you're living a healthy life. So it all starts with mental health and not with how you would look or how your body is or how much kgs you have lost or whatever inches you have lost. So when it comes to health, people are all about the physical parallel about it, but I think that is the biggest myth and it all starts with mental health.
That's very true because I also feel like food plays a major role on your mind. So there's something called food how you feel matters. So what do you think that there are some foods that make you feel good? Are there certain foods particularly that
So in our field we call that food psychology. So when we talk about food psychology, it's about what type of different foods will affect different moods. So when you're sad, we all tend to go in for something that can, comfort us, something sweet, something that you're craving. Some people also go in for something, that's savory. So it's all about food psychology, and I always talk to my clients in a way that, food is a type of information that you're giving to your body. So it is like if you want to perform some kind of task on your computer, you will put in some kind of information through your keyboard and that's what will happen inside the computer or laptop. Same thing, when you use food as information to your body, you will tell your body that what is to be done with that food. Is it giving you energy to do a workout? Is it giving you a good soothing, calm mood for you to go to sleep? Is it giving you a good endorphin rush that will make you feel very, energetic or something that you're very excited about? Is it something that is going to, work on your digestive health? If you're sick, if you're having fever, then, there's one particular food that we all know, that is khichdi. So that's something that we just go on to. So it is all about a particular situation and how you pair your food with it, because that's how you're giving your body information to do a particular task. So we don't see food as calories, but we see food as information for the body.
Taking that forward, say if one wants to wake up and seize the day, wants to do the best throughout the day, then what are the foods that they should start their day with typically?
Right. So the foods that you can start with, if you want to have an amazing day, first is you hydrate yourself a lot. That is number one. Once you wake up, just fill yourself with lots of water. That is going to make you feel fresh and that will make you get up from the bed, because everybody I meet today, even though they are sleeping for 8 hours, they are still tired. When they wake up, they're still 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'll wake up in a while. So they are not that pumped to get out of the bed. So number one is hydration. It's very simple and it's too low-key. Everybody thinks it's just water, but it does wonders. So drinking lots of water to start your day is important. Secondly, to start with good amount of nuts is really good, because scientifically when you wake up up in the morning, your sugar is on a surge. So to bring that down is very important, because again, that will make you more sluggish. So with that, if you add in some good fats like almonds, walnuts, black raisins, or maybe some kind of seeds like garden cress seeds, these are going to really work very well in terms of giving you energy to kickstart your day.
Correct. So when you say seeds, but certain people also, like a lot of people I know, start their day with coffee because they want instant boost कि बस अब जाग के काम खत्म करना है. So how is that affecting their body by drinking coffee first thing in the morning?
So coffee is great, but I would not suggest it first thing in the morning. Two reasons. One, our bodies are already dehydrated when we wake up, because we have not drank enough water in those last 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, whatever hours you've slept for. So first thing, it is going to dehydrate you more. It is also a diuretic. That means that it will pull out more water from the body. So it is going to make you more dehydrated and make you more sluggish and tired. Secondly, with any kind of caffeine from tea, coffee, or anything that has caffeine, empty stomach, when it enters your body, it's going to increase the acid production. So a lot of risk towards acid reflux, feeling acidic, and also that in turn will make you, if you're somebody who's on a weight loss journey, it's going to be damn difficult for you to lose weight if your body is into an acidic pH. So no coffee, teas first thing in the morning. As I said, first thing in the morning is plain water.
Plain water, okay, once you wake up,
Yeah.
you've taken. But say for breakfast, typically nowadays, because of the fast-paced life, a lot of people are going towards shakes, like a protein powder and say banana, peanut butter, milk, whip it up,
Yeah.
just drink it
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to approach breakfast?
It is a good way to approach a breakfast, but it depends on the composition of your shake. We don't want a lot of fruits in your milkshake, because when you churn the fruits, that will give you again a sugar spike. So to make a shake, you need to have better ingredients, which can be more high protein and good fats. So of course, you can add in good amount of milk from either say A2 cow milk or some kind of plant-based milk, which is clean. And then along with that, of course, peanut butter, some kind of nuts, a good healthy granola. If you want to add in a little sweet element instead of an apple or a banana, you can add in some dates, you can add in some figs. If you're somebody who's into some kind of a workout in the morning, then adding your plant-based protein powder in your smoothie is going to work very well. So yeah, it's something that, a lot of people who are on the go, like us, who are working, who doesn't have a lot of time in the morning, can just whip it up, have it, and you're done with your breakfast.
When it comes to milk also, so say Amul milk, which I think most of the Indian population drinks, even in that there are 2-3 types. There's that Shakti, Gold. What is the best way to go? Because it is very confusing.
I do understand that, but everybody will be shocked to listen to this, is that I do not recommend milk. I do recommend dairy products, but not milk at all, because these days, it's simple reason. The production has gone off the roof. Why? Because there is a lot of demand. In no universe or in no way cows can get so much of production. So there's a lot of hormones that are injected, and that is why there is a lot of production of the milk, and that is what we are drinking. If you go back 10 to 15 years, I did not see so many girls, teenage girls, or even girls or ladies in their early 20s or early 30s have so many hormonal imbalances. Like my mother still doesn't know what PCOS is. She has never heard about it, because in her era, things were so pure. Right now, things are so adulterated, especially milk, which is really ruining hormone. Also with men hormone. So there is also a term called male PCOS, which also brings in a lot of hormonal imbalances in the men. So that is why I do not recommend Amul or any other brand of milk. If you want to go ahead with still having milk, because I do have so many clients who love milk, so I would suggest A2 cow milk, which is really nice. It is cancer gene free. Plus, it is something that is very, very much in control in terms of production, and that is why it is not found very in abundance. So that, or otherwise, plant-based milks are great.
So basically, dairy milk substituted by plant-based milk is the way to. Because honestly, my day cannot start without milk. My mind does not function, because it's been 20-something years since which I've been drinking milk, and I need it to start my day. So basically, plant-based milk is the way to.
Is a way to go. Yes.
Can you also recommend few best plants or like plant-based milks?
So the best ones are almond milk and soy milk. I do not again still vouch for oat milk because again it has a lot of researches which says that there's a lot of sugar spikes in it. So oat milk or soybean milk is the best. That works very well.
Is it also recommended that you start your day with highest amount of protein? That would be a good start. Like if like I usually work out in the evenings, but even to like I sometimes prefer to like I don't have breakfast very often. I feel that keeps me high on energy. Like it does not, my body does not require a lot of energy to digest food. So my focus also improves. So is this a good way to begin like your day without a breakfast?
Yes, completely. Every body type is different. Every body has a different blueprint. Nobody is similar. Nobody is same. So if you are somebody who is completely okay up and going in the morning without a breakfast and you have that fasting window, and if you're comfortable, go with it. I keep telling everybody that listen to your body. It is not necessary to have breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you're somebody who's not hungry all day, it's okay to not eat on that day because your body is giving you that signal that you're not hungry. It doesn't need it. So that's completely fine. So you need to listen to your body. And that is, again, a signal where your body is giving you in that fasting stage, which is giving you more sustained energy. So that's completely fine. Secondly, the protein that you asked for, I would not say that you concentrate one particular nutrient in a particular meal. Make it more balanced throughout the day so that it's not too much of one thing in one go, because the gut is super sensitive. So we don't want to load too many things of any particular protein in one particular part of the day. So make it balanced, break it down, and have your meals accordingly.
And how does a layman who does not know anything about nutrition decide that chalo, for me keto is good, intermittent fasting is good, or I need to detox, terms like that you see a lot over the internet. So how does one actually determine this is what I should follow?
So if you see a person and a regular living, it's a very simple way to go. 3 meal pattern: breakfast, lunch, dinner. No snacks, no nothing, no nonsense. Simple meal that everybody eats. Breakfast: poha, upma, paratha, eggs on toast, whatever you like, our regular Indian breakfast. Lunch: roti, sabzi, salad, dal, dahi. Dinner: soup, and then along with that you go on with, say, khichdi kadi, or you can do dal chawal, you can do a stuffed paratha, you can do paneer ka sabzi and roti. Simple basic meals is something that any layman should use, and that is like a no nonsense game changer in terms of keeping your routine same, because our body needs a loop. You do not want to give your body trending things every month. Otherwise, it's going to be so confused that you're going to be nowhere. So a very simple, basic breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of a pattern works the best.
You also mentioned dahi in lunch. Now, there are so many people who've told, I am very notorious of eating dahi at night in dinner or something like that. But there are so many who said, don't. I'm like, why though? I mean, it is curd, why not?
Not really. I recommend and I eat myself. It's the only thing that it is a little acidic in nature. So to somebody it might not suit and might give a little bit of acid reflux. So if it is that kind of a body type, then yes, avoid. But if you're completely okay, then that's fine. A lot of people also have a notion that by eating dahi in the night will give you cold and cough. So if that is again your body type, which can happen to somebody, take out the dahi out of the refrigerator for some time, let it get onto the room temperature, and then eat it. Because see, we leave all these things and then we go on for probiotic supplements, and we are just putting in a lot of chemicals which we don't know how it is reacting inside. Other than that, why don't we just focus on our good foods?
And there's something called as leaky gut. So there are several foods. Can you suggest so you should ideally cut down these foods that create leaky gut. Which are those foods that?
There are lots of triggers that will start with a very unhealthy gut. So there are 4 major triggers. Number 1 is gluten. Anything that has to do with maida, breads, wheat products. For some of them, not everybody needs to go gluten free, but people who cannot tolerate it. Second is excessive dairy products and majorly milk that comes from all of these different sources. cow milk, buffalo milk, whatever. Third is anything that is to do with refined sugar. So when I say refined sugar, it's not just the white sugar, but white sugar, brown sugar, jaggery, honey, everything that is in the name of sugar. So, maltodextrin, erythritol, and whatnot, sugar-free tablets, everything that is labeled as sugar has to completely go out. That is the third trigger. And fourth is your alcohol. So these are 4 major triggers which are going to make your gut very, very inflamed. So that is something that we want to completely take it off. So that we do it in a phase-wise program where we first eliminate, then we reintroduce, then we see how it is working, and then the third phase is to give them a sustainable diet. So we know what is working, what is not, and if it is working, in what portion and in what frequency. So that is how you need to go ahead with any kind of dysfunction with your gut, be it leaky gut, IBS, then anything to do with your intestines, everything.
What is IBS?
It is irritable bowel syndrome. Basically, in that, it is just that when you eat any kind of food, that will take much more time than your regular stomach would take in terms of digestion. When it takes more time, it's going to create a lot of gas in terms of H2O and CO2 in the body. So that is going to give you a more distended feeling, which we call as bloating. So that is one of the symptoms. There are other symptoms like diarrhea, constipation, constant burping and belching, having frequent fevers, passing blood from your stool. All of these things can happen, but these are later stage symptoms. But initial is the constant bloated feeling.
And these days, like, protein has taken some, like, it is of course important, but a lot of people have gassy feeling after eating a lot of protein. So what is the reason behind that?
So number one, India has always been a moderate protein eating country. Our bodies are not meant for high protein stuff because that's our genetic self. So that's number one. Number two, in the past 10 years, there's so much focus on protein that people have ignored the easy protein foods which are easy on digestion, and they've gone on to supplements. So when your body is not ready to digest the easy proteins, and when you jump onto an intermediate or an advanced level of protein, of course it's going to give you so much of worry. So I would suggest, yes, protein is very important in a way where you have one portion of good amount of protein in every meal. So if we do a 3-meal pattern a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 1 portion in breakfast, 1 portion in lunch, 1 portion in dinner, and you're good to go. Secondly, yes, there are a big list of protein-rich foods, but protein is also determined in terms of combinations that you're eating. All the vegetarians, you need to make sure that you are having good portions of protein with your carbs. When you balance it together, that's when you get the best amino acid score, and that's when your protein is absorbed. Just don't count grams of proteins and dump it in your body. Make sure that you have good combination which can get absorbed. Otherwise, you're just eating the numbers and just pooping it out. It's not getting
Then in terms
used
of Indian diet, what would be an ideal combination of protein carb that one should be consuming?
Dal rice.
Okay, perfect.
Dal rice is the best.
So if, like, for example, I personally work out 3 times a week and I play sports mostly 5 to 6 times a day, every day usually. So, and I wish to build an athletic body, then would dal chawal make justice for the nutritional needs that my body requires?
So that is for one meal. But then when we talk about your entire day, we have so many other sources. We have options like paneer, low-fat paneer made at home with good clean milk. We have tofu, we have tempeh, we have all the beans like chickpeas, rajma, black beans, masoor, lots of different dals, and not just the regular, Gujarati or moong dal or something like that. We have so many different dals. So all of these together will give you a good composition of protein that you should be eating. So having variety of protein is also very much important so that you can meet your requirement, and secondly, it is also easy on your tummy.
So then you had also spoken about, say, supplements coming now. So when we look at modern science and the modern world, supplements are basically a way of life. Then how can one, what can one do to, say, make a ideal combination of traditional Indian food and the modern supplements that come in?
I'm somebody who would really push in supplements, but when we talk about supplements, it is about eating your food, looking at the gap which is not filled, and then fill that up with supplements. What people are doing are they are jumping onto supplements first and then looking onto their food. So it's the other way around. So first we focus on the natural things that we get from the nature, which the body is made for, and then whatever supplement gap is there, we supplement it with something that is man-made. So that is how I ideally talk to my clients about. In terms of protein, yes, protein supplements are great, but there are tons flooded in the market. So to know which is the best one is the key.
Like you mentioned, food खाने को खाने की तरह रखो, supplement is ideally like post workout a whey protein shake is good, but you can't make that as your main meal.
And that's what people are doing to have rapid results. They are going on to a lot of artificial things, but again, you have to ask yourself that for how long your body is going to take that. Secondly, is it sustainable in the next 10 years? Do you see yourself having the protein shake for next 10 years as your lunch or dinner? If the answer is no, then I don't think you should start doing anything like that.
And I have realized, and I have also read about that skin is the best way to know someone's health. So how can someone improve their skin?
Lots of Indian foods which are really good at improving your skin. But before we go on to those foods, the first thing is you focus on your core, that is your gut. You keep dumping good foods, but if your gut is not processing that, if those foods are not absorbed, if those foods are not assimilated, it's not going to reflect on your skin. So first is to clean your gut completely. As I told you, the 4 triggers, take them out, clear out your skin, hydrate well, sleep well, have a very good sleep pattern, which is, I don't know, completely out of routine for everybody these days. And apart from that, then focusing on to foods. Our skin is made out of protein and it is the biggest and the largest organ of the body. So a good amount of protein as we talk about. Number 2, prebiotics. We talk about probiotics to improve the gut, but prebiotics are 50% of the contributors towards having a great gut. So all your prebiotics are the food that the bacteria will eat onto and then they will grow. So there are 3 types of bacteria, good, bad and neutral. We have to improve the population of good in terms of bad. So bad is always going to stay in a small portion. We have to make sure that the good is always increasing. So add lots of prebiotics from fiber-rich foods like oatmeal, apples, papaya, kiwi, oranges, carrots, all your seasonal fruits and vegetables, which are great. And third is to add a small portion of superfoods. Why small? It's because they are superfoods, so small portion, but they have big impact. So a lot of different kinds of seeds are great. Nuts are great. So like walnuts are amazing. They have good omega-3. They have a good amount of zinc and selenium that is great for your skin. Adding in white till, which is also known as sesame seeds. They are great for your skin. So all of these foods will work well.
When we talk about natural sources as well, Ayurveda in general basically heals people using natural stuff. Now, when you look at Ayurveda, there is also a concept wherein if you eat, say, a certain combination of food, it is not good for your body, is what that says. What exactly is that concept and how can one use that in the day-to-day meal, say lunch, dinner, to actually make sense of that?
So Ayurveda and nutrition science are 2 different paths. Nutrition science is completely backed with researches. Ayurveda, yes, with researches and a lot of live examples. So I think it has a lot of difference in terms of different types of body, that is kapha, pitta and vata. So it is a type of body that you hold and what type of combinations can your body can hold on to. That is more about Ayurveda. But when you talk about nutrition science, it's all about focusing on your gut, and that is when nutrition science and Ayurveda joins path, because gut is where you will know about your kapha, pitta or vata, and nutrition science where if your gut is clean, that's when the food gets absorbed. So that is how both of them meet together, and that's how a body type is known, that this is the kind of body type and this is the kind of food.
So basically gut is king when it comes to overall well-being.
Very important. It has to be clean. Even a little bit of kachra in your gut, it's going to show. It's going to show up.
There's something also called as gut and mind connection that
Yeah.
if your gut is well, you will feel well.
Correct.
So how can one improve? Like the best ways to improve their gut health would be what? Take a lot of dahi and stuff. What would be few things that one can do every day to improve their gut health?
So what you talked about is gut-brain axis. So that is something which says that your gut, which is your stomach, and your brain is bidirectional. And your stomach is the second brain. First brain is your actual brain, and your stomach is your second brain. So they are so much coordinated that everything you eat, it affects your brain. Now, in terms of improving your gut health, not only dahi and probiotics, but again, a more variety of food. When we talk about getting a better gut health with more variety, the gut is going to get more food where the bacteria is going to feed onto and increase in the population. So with more variety, as I said, if you're focusing on proteins, different kinds of dals, different kinds of pulses, different kinds of dairy products, which will give you. If we talk about carbs, then again, a lot of different whole grains like ragi, rajgira, jawar, bajra, wheat, rice, all of these things. When we talk about fats, then we talk about ghee, we talk about nuts, we talk about oil seeds. So more variety in each and every segment is going to give your gut more variety in terms of good bacteria, and it's going to keep it going cleaner in terms of digestion. It's going to be more accustomed to getting variety and to digest it in the right time. So that is how you can keep your gut going. But of course, keep the triggers out as much as possible.
Then, say when we look at common, now India is the diabetes capital of the world, correct? Now, what can one do in their day-to-day nutrition to make sure that they are not super diabetic?
Super diabetic, yeah, but I think I'm seeing a lot of cases who are pre-diabetic. Especially people in their late 20s, which is very shocking. So what you can do is, number one, cut out fruit juices. It's completely no. It's a big no. Cut out anything that is like a snacky thing with your meal. I see a lot of Gujaratis and people in Gujarat and even outside, they eat their meal along with some snacks on the side. Cut that out completely. That is going to make a huge difference. Add in 1 glass of vegetable juice in your day on a daily basis and keep that a practice, because that amount of fiber is going to make your insulin sensitivity much more better. Your insulin naturally is going to work much better in terms of controlling your sugars. So that's going to work really well. And lastly, portion control. Even though a salad is healthy, you can't eat 4 bowls of salad. You have to make it a point that you have good portion control, because it's in the end, it's all about how much food you are eating and how much your body can take to process certain mechanisms. So yes, portion control is very, very important. And yeah, one more, keep moving, be more active, because all of us, we keep talking about food, but our lives are super sedentary. And doing that 1 hour of workout does not mean you're active. You have to be active throughout the day and not just an hour of workout.
That's very true. Like a lot of people who do a 9 to 5, they are stuck to their computer, they're stuck to their chair, and they're ideally, what should they do? Because of course their work also demands a lot of their time, attention, and somehow they can't make that time to move, or because there's back-to-back meetings and stuff. So what can such people do to improve their health, basically?
Number one, please get a hold of your mental health. First, jumping into your physical being, mental health is very important, because corporates from 9 to 5 are insanely stressed. Even if you're not going for workout for the next 2 days, it's fine, but that stress that you're taking is keeping your cortisol levels super high. So it's giving you double the trouble instead of, focusing on your workout. So that is something very important. Manage your stress, manage your timings. All of this will happen when you have a good night's sleep as well, so that you're more focused. In that 9 to 5, you have a good timetable that you can finish in a good pace. You're not rushing, you're not stressed, you're not anxious. So make yourself a good routine there. That's number one. Number two, people who are so busy, I don't want to put them into that mind frame. Keep 5 दिन वीक में वर्कआउट करना ही है. It's not important. Start with 1 day, start with 2 days, start with 3 days. It's better than doing nothing. So even 1 day of workout is going to make a difference. Again, we all have this mindset that we need to work out for an hour. No, even a 20-minute quick workout is going to work wonders. So just 20 minutes for 3 days a week and you see the change. When you see this change, you feel so motivated and good about it, you will automatically do it more often. So it's again a mental game.
Anxiety and stress, when and what can people consume in terms of nutrition to manage that?
So a lot of people have started running into the race of weight loss, and that's when they do not eat their carbs. But carbs are really important for your brain development and for the basic energy that the brain would require. So eating your roti, paratha, rice, or everybody who loves carbs, please do not miss it out. Make sure that you're eating it, but again, portion control and the combination. So carbs are really important, and there are a lot of brain boosting foods like walnuts. As we all know, it's a shape of brain, so it is great. Adding in good amount of other good fats like ghee, avocados, they're really good. Magnesium is something which is coming to light a lot in the market, and people are again turning onto magnesium supplements. But just eating a handful, say 10 to 12 pistachio every day, is going to work wonders with your brain, and even cashews in that matter. So these are basic foods which are easily available in your household. You don't need to go exotic for it. You don't need to go out and buy something. So just carbs, a good amount of fats, and your pistas and cashews are going to do the best.
So like magnesium particularly improves your sleep, right?
Yes.
So is it good, like, and what should be the time frame that you should eat? Like ideally, should you eat 10-15 pistachios like an hour before you go to sleep, or should you have it as a breakfast thing? When's the right time to eat or consume magnesium?
So I would say anything that is rich in magnesium should be post 4 p.m. because that's when the sun starts to set. Now, why we do that? Because we link that with circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is the biological clock that is inside our body, which works with sunrise and sunset. When the sun rises, our body is up and about and it's ready to start the day. When the sun sets, our body is tired and it needs to go to sleep. So anything that is to do with magnesium, which calms you down, brings you to good sleep, has to be post 4 p.m. And that's when make sure you're completely taking off anything that is loaded with caffeine, so that it does not interact accordingly. So that works.
And also you mentioned like ideally when you are working, I personally also feel that 4 to 6 is the time where my energy crashes. So what can one do to improve particularly at that time? My energy is low, I feel very sluggish, and that is the time I also go to play somehow, but I don't know how.
You just stretch it.
Yeah, I just stretch my body. Actually, It puts more stress on my body.
Yeah. So 4 to 6 is the time when the hunger hormones are at the peak. If you don't fuel your body, that's when it's going to crash. Now, just 2 or 3 hours before that, you've had a big meal, which is your lunch. Post that, there is not a lot of water intake because you're pretty full. So first, again, hydrate yourself. Most of the times, dehydration calls for more food. So it dehydrates you more. You are confusing between thirst and hunger. So 2 glasses of water first, wait for 5 to 10 minutes, then you determine what is the appetite that you need to eat. If you don't do this, you end up eating bowls and bowls of snacks. Or if you sit with a dabba, you tend to finish it. So that is number one. And snacks here can be anything which is more towards fluids. As I said, the vegetable juice, you can do a glass of chash, buttermilk. Summers are on the way, so something that can hydrate you. A glass of lemonade, or you can add in some protein-rich snacky options like your peanuts and roasted chana ka mix. You can do a trail mix. You can do beaten chana, the chana jor garam that we get it on the streets. You can put some onion, tomato, nimbu, make a chaat. You can eat a little bit of sukha bhel. All of these are quick energy. They are on-the-go foods and something that we really like. 4 to 6, we also crave a lot of savory things. So all of these are savory foods which can work the best.
So basically, healthy snacking is what will be covered by these foods rather than what you get in the market.
Correct. Anything that comes out of a packet does not work.
Don't eat it.
4 to 6 is the time when people order samosas, vada pav, che chalo bhook lagi hai, ye khate hain.
Okay, now, so when we were doing research for this episode, something we came across a lot was PCOS and PCOD. A lot of women are going through that. So how can nutrition help in managing that as well?
So 3 parallels. Again, stress, very much important. PCOS, PCOD starts generating from the teenage group. So that is when there's a lot of girls do come across a lot of subconscious stress in terms of how they look. So that is number one. So managing stress, understanding body types, embracing your body is very important. And in the same journey, understanding what you should be eating for a good teenage growth spurt, so that you do not put on so much weight that your hormones go completely haywire. So a lot of education into teenage nutrition is very important. So parents, schools, all of these people need to inculcate that. Number one, stress levels and body image. Number two, of course, nutrition, food, wholesome, because teenage and even early 20s, early 30s are moving towards the westernized world, the westernized foods. So bringing them back to our cultural food is very important. So getting into our Indian diet is something that's going to work wonders. So again, roti, sabzi, dal chawal, salads, dahi, buttermilk, poha. If people are eating eggs, great way of adding proteins to your diet. So all of these are really important. Snacking also, because there's always unhealthy snacks in the house, be it any age group. So that is also very important, because that will kickstart your base and foundation of hormone in a way that it's not going to mess up later on also. But people and teens are starting off with donuts, samosas, puffs, puff pastries and whatnot, croissant. So all of those things Indian body type is not meant for. Once in a while is fine, we all indulge, but we need to start educating girls and even boys in that particular age range to start their nutrition journey right away, and not wait for them to reach at a marriageable age and then make them lose weight, because that's nonsense.
Say people in their early 30s, late 20s who are already going through this, what can they do to make that better?
Number one, increase your activity level. As I said, seating has become the new smoking. So just get up. Every hour, put a reminder on your phone. Everybody tells me, I forget. Put a reminder on your phone. Every hour it should beep. You get up. Just if you're in your office, around your table, if you're at home, around your dining table, take 5 to 6 rounds and then sit back to work. If you're on a call, walk and have talk about it. If you're in a very hectic job with say 9 to 5, you have early morning hours and you have late evening hours to go for a walk or to do any kind of exercise. And as I said, 1 hour exercise is not required. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's okay, you're good to go. So that muscle movement is very important. That's when your hormones are going to work the best, and that's when it's going to give you that endorphin rush, which is going to make you feel good. So movement is very important. And number two, take the crap out of your diet. Yes, it is very tough. I'm saying myself, I've gone through it by myself, because I have gone through the entire journey just like any other person. It's very difficult. But if you have that dedication, if you want to be healthy, if you want to lead a great life where you feel good about yourself, you got to do it. There is no shortcut.
100%. Like, since we're talking about people in the late 20s and their early 30s, one thing that the society also expects that you need to conceive, but that has become a major problem. Like, there are IVFs popping up every crossroad. There's some IVF center coming up, and infertility rates are like going off the roof. So what can they do to improve their fertility rates basically?
So as I would say, when it comes to fertility, age does play a good job over there. A lot of people would say that I'm old school, but scientifically, if you see, conceiving before you're 30 is a big game changer in terms of the way you feel, in terms the body supports you. And this is not for girls, it's for both men and women, both of them. So before 30 is a great game changer, because post 30, with lifestyles that we have, where we are socially so active, it's not going to support us in a way that it would in our 20s. Even with a normal person who does not conceive, once they are 30 plus, they would see their energy levels decline. They would see their hormonal levels go haywire. These days, females are getting into perimenopausal age in their mid-30s, which earlier used to be 50s. So all of these things are really affecting. So yes, before 30 is the right way to go. Secondly, diet and physical health, physical fitness are very important, so that you are at your right weight. Again, for both females and males, that you are at your right weight and your right fat percentage, because that's when your body is going to have less inflammation. It's going to have more energy. It's going to have more cleaner nutrition inside the body, so that conceiving becomes easy. And as you said, society has a lot of expectation. When you try for 10, 20, 30 times, you yourself are going to get frustrated. So if you can conceive faster with a healthier body, you're going to be more happy. So yes, physical fitness, nutrition is very important. And third, as I said, mental health. You have to plan it in a way where you are not mentally stressed about it. Of course, it's a journey, but it is something that you need to work on, where you are, taking care of your mental health in a way that it supports the process and does not take it away from you.
And particularly, as you mentioned, with our lifestyle, two things that I see our generation people doing a lot is alcohol and the new cigarette, the electric cigarette, vaping. So how is that affecting the infertility reasons of being infertile?
A lot, because both of these things have a lot of inflammation, and it improves a lot of paths towards inflammation in the body. So when you smoke or when you have alcohol, it works as a barrier. Now when somebody comes to me and they are like, I'm going to have alcohol for the weekend, and then from Monday I'm going to be back on routine, it does not work. That barrier is going to stay for the next 4 or 5 days. So on Monday, if you're having a great healthy breakfast, lunch and dinner, it's making no sense to the body, because that barrier hasn't gone. So with that barrier, the food is not reaching to the right place to give you that nutrition. So it's nowhere where you can say that I will balance it out. Alcohol and smoking is a big no. If you can stop it, that is the best way to go. If you cannot, socially, if you have it, you need to have measures where how much you are consuming it, what you are eating along with it, and if you already have an existing healthy lifestyle where that little bit is not going to make like a blast in your body. That is important.
So basically, bad habits.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Now, when it also comes to junk food, one junk food in particular, pizza. Now, Italians eat pizza day and night.
Correct.
Then why is it a junk food in India? Because I love pizza.
Yeah.
And I want to eat it all the time, and I want it to be healthy. So what can one do for that?
So just 2023 October, I was in Italy and I ate pizza for 17 days. I was there for 17 days. I ate it every day.
Lucky you.
But on the contrary, I was scared. I'm like, I'm going to be constipated. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. Nothing happened. Two major ingredient which I saw were different and were authentic to Italy were their pizza crust was sourdough. It was made out of maida, but it was sourdough, where that dough is fermented for 7 days without sugar, and it is self-fermented. So it converts being into a prebiotic. So that really gives you good bacteria. So those 17 days of pizza did good to me. That's number one. Here in India, we use regular maida, which is bad. Second ingredient, fresh cheeses. So they would put fresh burrata, they would put fresh feta, they would put fresh mozzarella and bake it. Here we are using Amul and Britannia as our processed cheeses. So these two ingredients make a huge difference. You can eat pizza every day if you make sourdough bread at home and you use fresh cheeses. Eat it every day and you're good to go. And over and above, when we talk about junk foods, I would not say they are junk foods. Let's not tag it. They are just foods. We all can eat it. But how frequent, when, in what quantity, and in what combination? That's it.
That's very true, because I also recently saw some health influencer posting that burgers are outstanding, provided the bread is sourdough.
Correct.
The patties of high rich protein, maybe chicken or paneer, and some veggies. It's a great way to eat. But of course, we prefer some American brands that are not so healthy.
If you are leading a healthy life, a little indulgence will not affect you, because these indulgence work as brain boosting activities. So indulgence is not bad at all, but again, as I said, when to, how much to is the key.
Now, a lot of young Indians now are super busy when it comes to work or the day-to-day schedule. In that, how can one put in healthy eating? And the reason I ask is, now me personally, and I know Rudrik for a fact as well, we are super busy for the entire day. I mean, we hardly have time to do anything else. So in that, what are 1-2 things, if we add, it would just boost our our nutritional ways for the better.
Everybody has a different size of hand. So that size is something that is going to determine how much portion you should be having. So if my hand is this much, this is my fist size. I need to eat this much amount of nuts every day. So I have to put my hand like this, fill it up with nuts, and any nuts, anything that you like, assort it and have it every day. We all know nuts are great, but all of us do not eat it every day.
In one go?
In one go.
And also soaked nuts are better than normal.
Not required. It only works for almonds because almonds have nutrient inhibitors. So when you eat it as it is, it's not going to get absorbed. So soak your almonds, eat it with the skin, do not peel it out. But all the other nuts is completely fine. You can eat it anytime and you can eat it in your own palm size portion. So that's number one thing, which you can carry with you, which you can keep it in your bag, which you can stack it at your office in a small dabba. It's available, accessible anytime. You can eat it in the middle of a podcast also, fatafat and get it done. So that is one thing which is going to really work well. Number two, add in a lot of hydrating fluids, not only water but infused water, juices, lemonade, green juices. Then you can add in buttermilk, you can add sattu juice. All of these, they are hydrating you. Secondly, they are giving you a lot of nutrition along with that drink. So again, in terms, if I tell you that you sit and finish this bowl of salad, instead I give you a glass of vegetable juice, you will finish it in like 10 minutes and 2 minutes and you're done. So that is again being more convenient, less time, but giving you enough nutrition as well.
One thing that I think a lot of people would be struggling with, and me personally as well, is something that I get restrictive when it comes to the things I eat. I want to eat healthy, but I don't have access. I feel I don't have access to good healthy food.
Yeah.
So I end up not eating and then I lose weight.
Yeah.
And so how can one get out of that? Because and then what happens is, if I'm like, let it be, I'll eat anything and everything, then I feel bloated.
Yeah.
I can feel that I'm all inflamed and all of that, which I don't like then.
Yeah.
So how can one get out of that restrictive style
I've
of
gone
thinking?
through it.
What to do?
In my case, I was just lazy.
Okay.
That I would not make it, or I would just not go and get it or something like that. So in that case, to take that out, planning really helps. Just sit on a Sunday for 10 minutes for the next whole week, Monday to next Sunday, plan your meals. When you can see it, that this is something that you have to eat, you are going to plan and get your groceries like that, and that's how you're going to eat it. See, if it is made and it's in front of you, or say if you have thought of eating one fruit every day, and on a Sunday you went and you got a couple of apples and a bunch of banana, it's going to sit on your table or it's going to be in your fridge. So the moment you open it, you see it, you eat it. But if you have not planned, you don't know what you're going to eat, and if you are confused, of course you're going to be, just let it be, or let me just get whatever is there. So planning makes a huge difference, and if you want to start eating healthy, a set plan would work very well, especially with people like us who are, working all day.
Talking about planning now, one thing that we've gone through very recently is that wedding season had come.
Yeah.
Every second, third day you have to go to a wedding and you have to eat that caterer's food.
Yeah.
In that, how does one manage? Because see, honestly, I was on a very nice diet before. I was working out, having a nice diet, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then my own marriage came and I had to go to 10 different other marriages. The whole thing went haywire. So what can one do just to keep a few things in mind? Okay, yaar, do this.
It's your own marriage, just have fun.
Yeah, of course. But apart from that.
But apart from that, other marriages, see, if it is an evening event, this is what I tell my clients, evening event, make sure you have like a big bowl of soup at home, finish it and go. Whatever it is, finish a big nice bowl of soup, thick soup. So again, fiber is done. It's going to mix with all the water inside the stomach, and it's going to swell up. So it's going to take like 60% of your space in the stomach. So what is left is 40%. In that 40%, how much will you eat? You're not going to fill yourself up till here.
Then it's also cool if you go straight to the sweet counter.
No. No. Then you go and you eat your caterer food. You enjoy different things. Now in the caterer food also, what I usually suggest is, marriages are so grand these days. You name the cuisine and it's there. So you pick which is your favorite cuisine and you stick to that. You like Lebanese, go and eat two shawarmas. Or you like Italian, you go have a portion of pasta, small portion of risotto, you're good to go. So that bowl of soup is going to make a huge difference. It's going to be a game changer in terms of the appetite and the portion you eat in terms of everything that you eat outside. So even on a regular day, you want to go out and eat, have your soup and go.
So there's a monkey brain up there जिसको ना बोलना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. So everybody faces this problem that खुद को ना बोलना कि फेवरेट स्वीट है. न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट प्राची शाह ने बोला है कि मत खाना, अपना फेवरेट क्यूजीन खा लेना, स्वीट मत खाना. हाउ डज वन टेल नो टू देमसेल्व्स एंड रिस्ट्रिक्ट देमसेल्व्स?
So this has a lot to do with self-talk. I'm still working on it, because postpartum, when you start breastfeeding, your hunger is insane. You feel hungry. I can't even express it. I've never eaten so much food in my life, and sometimes I can't believe myself that, oh my God, what am I doing? But self-talk is really important. Number one, I always ask myself that, is this required? Does your body need it? If the answer is yes, go ahead. Most of the times, 99% of the times, the answer is no. You don't need sugar. You don't need it. So that is number one. Number two, there is a mechanism in your brain with cravings and with things that you really like. Every time you give in, the brain complexes become weak. So the next time when you see that dessert or a sweet, within no time you're going to dive in. But every time you say no, these complexes become stronger, and that's going to make you more resistant. So again, a mental game where self-talk and brain complexes work really well. I'm not saying don't eat it. Eat it, reward yourself, indulge once in a while. But again, you should know when to stop as well.
Then what is that while though? I mean, once in a while I'd like to eat something every day,
Yeah, so I usually say once a week. So, and when I say once a week, it's not a cheat day, it's a cheat meal. Now, if you go out, you eat pizza and a Coke, and then you eat a dessert, that does not work. A cheat meal is either a pizza or a glass of Coke or a piece of chocolate or a piece of brownie, whatever. That's one thing. Because in that cheat meal, if you go all out, you're zeroing out the whole effect of the entire week ka effort you have put in.
Are there any healthy desserts in general? Because, see, very honestly, Rudrik and I both have a very sweet tooth. We love to eat sweet. So, I mean, personally, I had gone through a journey where I stopped sugar altogether. Nahi khana. After 10 days, I got mad. I was like, I couldn't control myself. I was not functioning properly. So, I literally went, drank a sip of Pepsi and came back. It was that bad. I mean, I'm sure there is something fishy going on when it comes to sugar.
It's like,
yeah, it's bad.
It's
addictive. So for people with a sweet tooth, what would be a few good desserts that they can actually indulge in?
I wouldn't say do that. I would say go in for a regular thing that you're craving and get done with it.
But then it happens every day.
Yeah, so that is when your mental health comes into the picture, no? Again, self-talk. Do you require it every day? Do you eat your portion of proteins every day? Yes or no? If no, then you can't eat the sugar as well. Do the good thing, and then you put in your indulgence, put in your reward. You make a life, make a routine in a way that you're giving everything great to the body, and then you reward yourself. If you're doing the good thing, great, reward yourself. If you're not, no rewards. Make it a reward system.
Can you give like a specific message for Indian mothers? कि भाई गाजर का हलवा बनाया बेटा खा ले, शीरा बनाया बेटा खा ले, शीरा is good for you खा लो.
So my mother also does that, and even today, like even after this, postpartum, you eat ghee and you eat laddus and this and that. I tell her that when you gave birth to me and my sibling, you were doing jadu pocha, you were doing bartan, you were cooking everything. I'm not doing those things. I'm just going to office and working. Yes, that is also taking a toll, but I'm not physically exerting myself in a way that I need that much of rich food. I don't need it. My body has enough rich food inside because I've eaten throughout pregnancy, I've eaten throughout postpartum to supply for my baby. So I don't need that rich food when I'm not exerting myself enough. So your mother, I'm sure she has worked physically a lot in her age. Same with everybody's mom. We do not do it today. In terms of our fathers, they have struggled like crazy. We don't do it. We are in a much convenient space where we are mentally struggling but not physically as much. So if you're not being physically active, then that much of sheera and halwa and all that is not required. Once in a week eat, have fun, fuel your brain, make it go crazy in a small portion, but not every.
Mummy, once in a week, not once in a meal. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. And a lot of people also struggle कि कुछ मीठा चाहिए post dinner, post meals. That is a major thing. What is happening inside our body that's telling you कि चलो अब खाना खाए अब कुछ sweet खाते हैं?
It's the fiber. Because again, Indian meals are not rich in fiber. You'll eat 3 rotis with little bit of sabzi. Just dip and you eat it. But you will never have 3 cups of sabzi and 1 roti. Have you ever seen a plate like that? Same thing, very simple example of chole bhature. You'll eat 3 bhaturas with this much portion of chole. But if you eat 3 cups of chole and 1 bhatura, no problem, eat. So here the fiber is the culprit. If the fiber is not going in, it's not giving you that bulking effect. So even after a nice meal, that bulk is not there. So you're still craving. The body is still asking for some more energy. And wo kahan se aata hai? Those dabbas put on our dining table, which are always there. Always some prasad has come, some chocolate is there, something or the other, and that's when we get tempted.
So I was reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. So he mentions that only, that if you want to start something new, make it easy, and if you want to stop like bad habits, sugar or snacks, you hide it back in your cupboard so you can't see.
Correct.
So make good habits easier, like make fruits on your dining table or nuts on your dining table over those prasad mithais.
Yes. So from the same book, a very good idea that I read was the habit stacking. So, making a loop of habits that, if after I wake up at 7 a.m., I will drink 2 glasses of water. So when you frame it in a way, you make it more accessible, it becomes easy for you to cultivate habits. So yes, that book is a game changer for people who want to get into a routine.
And there's also one more thing, you mentioned morning. So a lot of people of our generation struggle to wake up early or like to get into their 5th gear के full peak performance पे आते बहुत time लग जाता. What's the reason? What are they doing wrong, particularly in the dinners? I feel that is a reason that they can't wake up well or energize.
Yes, dinner has a lot to do with it. Late dinners, after 9, after 10, all of these late dinners, when you go to sleep, your stomach should be empty. Only then, for that 7-8 hours, the body is going to give you a good recovery, which is going to make you fresh in the morning, feeling fresher, feeling lighter, feeling more energized to get up and seize the day. But if you have had a late dinner, it is going to start digesting the minute you eat. But if you have dinner at say 10 and you go to sleep say around 12, 2 hours the meal hasn't digested fully. Plus, if it is a big meal, which usually happens that, after a tiring day, you want to dump in so much of comfort food. If it's a big meal, the digestion is not complete. That's when you snooze off to bed. So your digestion is halfway. Your recovery is halfway. Recovery does not happen because there's still food in the system. You need to expel it out. So neither digestion is happening properly, neither your recovery is happening properly, and that's when you wake up feeling heavy. You can't pass stools easily. You are not feeling fresh. You are not, you're still droopy, sluggish. So yes, late dinners, very big problem. I would say 6:37 best time, as in when before the sun sets. Puts you in such a good gear with your sleep and the way you wake up in the morning. And secondly, even if I've seen people who eat early, but they scroll till 1, 2. So the best scientifically proven time for the best of recovery is 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. I know it's very impractical with the life these days, but the closer to 9, the closer to 5, the better for you. If not 9, try 10. If not 10, try 11. But don't go up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock and then say, oh, it's a habit, I can't fall asleep. That's not the case. We can mold our bodies into however way we want. I'm sure to go up to a habit where you are where you are sleeping at 2, you are fighting that sleepy thing initially. which then you have put yourself into a bad habit. So to break that habit and go into a good one can also happen.
So genetically, is there something like early risers and late night owls? Is that actually a thing?
Diseases don't run genetically, they run with family habits. If you have seen your parents sleep late, party all night, and wake up late, you're going to be like that. Yes, there are exceptions, I've seen that also. But if for my child, this is what I feel today, for my child, if I'm up and about at 6 or 7, she watches me wake up, she watches me do my workout, she watches me go to office and come back, she watches me do my whole routine, even though she's 4 months, but still there is so much of sense into this thing that I want to be an example for her.
So Prachi, we put up a story on our Instagram and asked a lot of people, like we were going to interview a nutritionist, we put that. So a lot of people had a few questions. So I'm going to ask you a few questions that our viewers had actually asked them. So first was, is it okay to fast during the mornings and have lunch directly, or is it recommended or not recommended?
So this is basically like intermittent fasting, and yes, it is recommended. Again, not for everybody, but people who can do it. When you fast from say dinner till the next day morning and you skip your breakfast, you give a lot of time for your cells to rejuvenate, and that's when it can give you a lot of benefits in terms of your appetite, your food items that you choose, your sugar cravings, sugar levels, and also in terms of your entire fat loss journey.
Perfect. Then now there's one question: what are the safe and healthy sources of vitamin B12 and B3 for vegetarians?
So vitamin B12 and D3 for vegetarians is really less in the foods that we eat, but eating all the seasonal fruits and vegetables will help you to make that in your body internally. But I always recommend supplements for it if you're a vegetarian, because the reduction or the deficiency in B12 and D3 can give you a lot of symptoms in other medical conditions. So yes, seasonal foods along with supplementations for vegetarians is a must.
So, and is it also safe to take multivitamins like every single day?
Again, that depends on your own nutritional profile, but any supplement that you take in terms of vitamins and minerals should not be taken 365 days. You must keep a gap and have it periodically. For example, take it 3 months and then you take a gap of a month and then you can start it back again. But during all of these things, you must know what is your nutritional source, stores inside the body. So you need to get yourself checked, at least, the blood test once in 8 months. So you'll have a fair idea.
There's a very specific question that what is the impact of taking whey protein daily on women with or without weight training, and what happens when they stop taking it?
So whey protein for women is a big no. Women should not take whey protein at all, because again, a lot of hormonal fluctuations. Whey is basically the water that comes out of the milk and the curd or cheese or paneer that we make. So that water is basically the whey that we call. Then they hydrolyze it, they make it into powders, and then you have it. So again, it is processed to a very bigger level, so no processed foods that ways. Secondly, with anything that has to do with dairy, it does hamper female hormones in terms of prolactin levels, estrogen, progesterone, and that can give them risk to develop PCOS, infertility, type 2 diabetes, early signs of thyroid, all of these things. So I would recommend females and even men for plant-based protein supplements.
So, what are the best sources of plant-based protein that, of course, men and women can take?
So if we consider foods, it is a lot to do with whole grains. So in terms of different kinds of pulses, all the different beans that we have, different kinds of dals that we have, then vegetarian or plant-based sources of proteins in terms of tofu and tempeh and soya bean works wonders. If you also consider a little bit of dairy, then Greek yogurt, regular homemade dahi, or you hang it and make it more thicker, take out the whey and have it in a more concentrated form, paneer, fresh cheeses which are not processed, they are all great sources of proteins. If you talk about supplements, then plant-based protein powders which are made out of brown rice extracts, which are made out of green pea extracts, which are rich in proteins, give equal effect as whey protein, are much safer, high in fiber, and very, very gut friendly.
How does cortisol impact overall health and body inflammation, and what role does diet play in balancing it?
So cortisol is known as the stress hormone. Anything that is unhealthy, like sugars, alcohol, smoking, fried food, like a lot of consumption of fried food, that is the food part. Then again, mental stress, anxiety, which is the mental part, and being sedentary and not utilizing your extra stores in the body, that is the fitness part. All three parallels and its unhealthy things that we do will always build up the stress level and will spike your cortisol levels. Now, to unwind it and bring it down back, move more, eat cleaner, add in good amount of probiotics, prebiotics, make yourself more happy. In terms of mental health, a good balance between your right and the left brain. We are always into our critical left brain, working, doing this, management, this and that, but our right brain is very submissive. So playing with your kids, drawing, painting, musical instrument, reading books, listening to music, anything, going for a walk is going to balance your brain activity. So that's all of these is things are going to reduce your cortisol level and will make your entire health journey in terms of whatever goals you want to achieve much easier and very quick.
And how can a layman with zero knowledge plan a basic healthy diet?
So a simple 3-meal project where there is breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast should be our regular Indian meals, poha, upma, paratha, eggs, or you can do besan ka chila, lots of veggies. Make sure you have one fruit with it every day, so you add in your seasonal fruit. Lunch can be a regular Indian thali, roti, sabzi, salad, dahi or chash, all of these options. Dinner can be again something that's very light and easy on tummy, like khichdi kadi. Then you can do options like sabzi roti, you can do options like a stuffed paratha, you can do a little bit of Indian street food in a healthier way, where you can do pav bhaji, but you eliminate the pav and have a paratha with your bhaji. So it's, more fun along with inculcating healthier practices. And as I said, 1 glass of vegetable juice every day in your diet will work the best.
Now we'll come to the last question. What are the best low volume, high protein food sources for vegetarians?
So I already covered that. Lots of different kinds of dals. We only focus on moong dal and tuar dal, but there is masoor, which works amazing. High protein and does not mess up your gut at all. Very light on tummy. Then there is green moong dal, which is with the chilka. Super rich in protein, and you can make lots of varieties out of that dal. Making sure you're doing a variety of pulses, not only chole and rajma, but the brown desi chana that we have, the white beans that we have, which we call lobia. That is something which is really good. Soya bean, you can use tofu in different ways. If you don't like to eat tofu, because there are a lot of people who don't like the texture, you can grate it and put it into something. So all of these are great ways of adding proteins in your diet. Greek yogurt is again great. And of course, plant-based milk, which is soya bean milk and almond milk, are very good.
Then, so millets that have become popular very recently, would you count those in this? And also in the market, there are a lot of millet-based snacks that have come out. Are they also super processed, not good, or they're better because of the ingredient?
So millets are not a dense protein-rich food source. They are a dense carb-rich food source. But the good part is they are complex carbs. That means they are carbs with fibers. So it's not going to give you a sugar spike. It is good for you. Now, when we talk about millets, you use it in its rawest form. Either you get the millets and make an atta at home, or you get a good quality atta and you make rotis out of it. You make a porridge out of it. You can make different varieties out of it, rather than getting ready-made millet snacks from outside, because they are not pure millets, number one. Number two, to make that snack more palatable, there is a lot of additives into it. So with just tagging ourselves as eating healthier snack, that packet is not giving you anything apart from preservatives, additives, sugar for that taste, and a lot of sodium to enhance that chatpata snack kind of a taste. So instead, get it at home, make it at home in a way which can reach your body in its purest form.
And one last question. You mentioned like twice or thrice drink vegetable juice every day. So could you share like 2-3 recipes that you have been following lately, or are best, that you find it even tasty and are of course good for your health?
So the easiest one that you can, anybody can make it, is carrot, apple and ginger. When I say apple, it's a fruit, so just put like one slice for a little taste, but one whole carrot, one slice of apple, and lots of ginger. Ginger works very well with your gut health. Carrot is great in terms of beta carotene, so it gives you good flushed skin. Anybody who's fighting acne, scars, pigmentation, dark circles, all of that, carrot will do wonders. This is one recipe. Second easiest is ABC. Everybody knows apple carrot beet. That can be done. One recipe which is great for your digestive health is celery juice. Again, a little exotic. Not everybody might have access to it, but it works so well. It is an alkalizing agent. So just juice your celery with coconut water, put in some mint leaves and a little bit of lemon, blend it and have 1 glass every day. Gives you a great clean gut, great hair, great skin.
Yeah, and one thing just popped in my head. Air fryers have become quite famous now. So does cooking with air fryer actually have any benefit?
Not really, because that gives you a super high temperature in a short time. So it is changing the chemical composition of the food that you're making, which is becoming more carcinogenic in nature when you eat it. So I do not recommend microwaves. I do not recommend air fryers or anything that makes the cooking process much like 10x faster, rather than just go in with your regular, cultural cooking methods. If you want to fry something, you can shallow fry it in a healthier oil which supports the frying method. For example, don't fry in olive oil and say it's healthy, because olive oil is not for cooking. Use groundnut oil, which has a high smoking point, and it will not make your food toxic.
All right, Prachi, thank you so much. But with that, I want you to leave people with one key takeaway as they can improve their lifestyle basically. So can you leave our audience with one major key takeaway that can help them change their life?
Yeah, sure. Just make it simple. It's no rocket science. It's something that we have to do for our bodies, because that's the place that we are going to live in. We have to make it healthy to support being happy, healthy at 20s and even at 80s. So you being into a simple environment, as I said earlier, breakfast, lunch, dinner, no other nonsense, hydration, good sleep, and you're good to go. Forget the trends. It's too complicated. The body doesn't need it. We as Indians have to fit into a simple routine of eating clean, home-based foods with small indulgences which can make you feel happy every now and then.
Okay, ma'am. So one last thing, if say any of our viewers wants to get in touch with you and take this conversation forward, how can they do that?
They can just log on to my website, which is www.shahprachi.com, or they can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram ID is shahprachi.
That's it for today's episode of All That Matters. We hope you gained valuable lessons by listening to Prachi Shah and her expertise in nutrition.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, share it with a friend or someone in your family who would actually need this and could change their life.
Thank you so much for tuning in for All That Matters, and see you in the next one.